All right, so here we go. We got the results in. The results is Ryan Garcia was way too soft to handle Tank. Tank actually won the fight. But part of what we want to talk about today is that this purse situation and how this is going down with with Tank and Garcia, this the purse thing or whatever. And then Marlon actually made a video about it and people been talking trash. So we want to talk about that some more. Check it out.
Okay, so Tank won. Oh well. It did not change my view, and it will never change my view. The reason I picked Garcia was not because Garcia was the better fighter. In fact, I'm pretty sure I mentioned the fact that you got a purse. That's why I can't back you. It has nothing to do with how well you can fight. You got a bigger agenda that you're pushing, and I can't get behind that, Tank. You're gay. You talk like a girl, you move like a girl, so what? You box like a man. There are tons of female that can hit hard too. Okay, that don't make you straight. And I will not back your agenda, bro. If it's because you're slow that you can't figure it out or because you like it, either way, my picking Garcia had nothing to do with your skill. And it will never have anything to do with your skill. No matter how many fights you fight, how many of them you win, the viewpoint by me will always be you is not straight. So for me, you will never get my viewpoint.
I can understand what you saying because of how you feel and what you have concluded. So I get that. And I listen, I gotta agree with it, but I got a different angle to it. You've concluded that he's gay, and you got a right to conclude that based on what you see and what you see. You know what I'm saying? And what you discern is what I'm trying to say. I kind of got lost in my words, but I think that I might see something a bit different, and I want to break this down. I want to break it down. It might take me a minute, so y'all bear with me. Um, I want to go back to Tank and how he grew up, and from what I understand, and I may have some of these details incorrect because you hear different things, and I've heard him say some things and whatever. So anyway, he grew up pretty rough. You know what I'm saying? And and from what I understand, I keep saying from what I understand because I don't know Tank like that. I actually do know some people in his camp, but not to that extent. But now Tank grew up pretty rough, and Calvin Ford rescued him, shall I say, for lack of a better words, and got him in the boxing gym and all this. And in between that, Tank been through a lot of stuff, watching people get killed, losing friends, almost losing himself, caught up in the gang culture, the whole thing, and house to house and all that. So I don't think he really had a stable life. And I believe that he went from the gutter to the butter. And when he got to the butter, he didn't know how to act. Now I want to make this clear. I'm not giving him a pass for the purse, but I want to leave an open mind for something. So just work with me. So I just think he's been misled to that degree. And that's not a shot at Calvin Ford because I absolutely commend Calvin Ford for what he did because look where they at today, right? Now, and which could be an ultimate good thing, even on the spiritual side, if it's directed in the right direction. So you got to look at Ford worked with him. So maybe Ford didn't put enough of the different kind of morals or values in him that I think that he should have, but I'm sure that he did what he thought, or maybe at the time he didn't have them. I don't know. I don't know the situation, but I do know it's unfortunate for Tank. And Tank all of a sudden went from the gutter to being around a billionaire and other millionaires, right? Plenty of money, plenty of styles, plenty of fashion. There's a possibility that he got misled. And like, okay, for instance, you got to think this dude come from nothing, no daddy, his mother had the rough life going on and he come from nothing. And then somebody telling him, look, you should take this, do that. And some of them feminine ways might be showing up because of a lack of a father in his life. You know what I'm saying? And he's still a young cat. And I don't believe he really had a chance to grow up like a normal kid did on top of all that because he got into boxing. He been traveling, he been training. So of course there's going to be some things that's in him that we see that shouldn't be there. And I'm not saying he ain't this or he ain't that. I'm just saying that I'm just leaving room. You know what I'm saying? And so he also, I just don't think he really know what's going on yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he ain't gay. I'm not saying he is gay, but I want to see what's going on with him and what he do moving forward before I before I count him out. And I say that in a spirit of I want to give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? I really want to give him a chance. And I know we talked a bit earlier about the Ryan Garcia thing, but we'll get into that later. I know you want to elaborate on what I just said.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and like you said, no, that's a viewpoint you can definitely have. Um, but at the same time, um, you have a your own mind to make up, and you can't tell me you don't know the difference between a man and a woman, regardless of having the father around. You just have a propensity for the feminine, and I don't see that as being a oh I got coerced into it. You picked that, bro. You picking a pink coat, you picking a purse, you picked that. That's you. You picking it. You gay.
Okay, so look at it this way. All right, let me give you a perfect example, and I'm sure my youngest son don't mind me. I mean, my oldest son Corey don't mind me saying this. When he was younger, right? He was running. I never forget it. He was running. You know that fear to you don't want your son to be feminine. You don't want your son to be gay, right? So one day he was running, and I saw that hand stick out, like he was running like this. You know how kids run. And I said, oh, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. You know, bring it in, bring it in. So he brought it in. Look, you know what I'm saying, man. You know, straighten that out. Don't get that confused. This is how men walk. This is what men do, right? So he's been taught. You know, he's been taught these things. But the point is that you will see them things in kids as a man and you correct them. And I'm just thinking maybe there's a chance that he's never been corrected for these things. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be so fast to put it on him just because he's so young and I know a little bit about his background enough to know that certain things could have taken place that make these things show up, but then he got time to develop them. Now, to your point, and I know you boiling to say it, but to your point, I know that you like ain't no excuse for that stuff because you know what you just said. But sometimes I think that we just might not understand from another person's standpoint. And again, disclaimer, I'm not saying he gay. I'm not saying he ain't gay. I'm saying I don't know and I have not concluded because I don't have enough information and I want to give it a little bit more time. And I'm rooting for the guy. I hope that he go in the right direction. I hope that he's not involved with all this Illuminati mess. But honestly, it's looking like it. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't looking right. The dressing, it ain't adding up. But I really do hope that this guy go in the right direction and he ain't got himself involved too deep to where he can't get out.
You mentioned an example with your young kid with the arms out running thing. We are talking about an adult male who should have at least a little bit of common sense to know that a purse belongs to a woman and not a man, and still choosing on multiple occasions in public to wear one. That's an actual decision making process you got to go through, and I can't attribute that to coercion at the age that he's at. Even if someone called you out, that's a purse, bro, in public, and your answer is so what? You're gay. You wearing a purse and like it. Come on, man.
Small. Look, I'm little. I got a little friend. Hey, you gonna? You got heels on. Go ahead. I got heels on. Okay, and you had a purse on yesterday. Shut up. Okay, come on now. Yeah, you got one on now. Come on, man. I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna knock him out, and that's it.
This is not a conspiracy channel we're talking about here. He's taking over the internet. It's more like a truth-speaking, exposing evil type of deal with no limits. No one's off the table here. Pastors,
P. Diddy,
musicians,
rumored
actors,
sex
I mean,
parties.
you name it, and he's
And he
bringing
liked
the
me.
receipts.
He liked me. He was like,
Jay-Z and Beyonce exposed. Watch this video, Blame Drake. This channel is on a mission. Wake up before you go to sleep. Listen, I'm gonna say this, man. You know, your boxing skills, man, is on point. And I like what you're doing out there, brother. I do. I really do. But that purse thing, nah, we ain't gonna be able to do the purse thing. Ladies and gentlemen, please wake up before you go to sleep. Peace. We out of here.